Good morning, children. Okay, I'm audible to all of you. So yesterday on Saturday we did the Chlamydomonas, in which I told you about we did the plastids, and in plastids I told you the two types of plastids, then further the leucoplast, which are divided into aleuroplast, amyloplast, eleoplast, and then I told you the chromoplast, which were further divided into chloroplast, phaeoplast, rhodoplast, keratin, etc. Then I told you, I think we finished here, and I have to take up the next now. I have to take up with chloroplast now. Okay, so I take up with chloroplast. I take up with chloroplast. I think the board is visible to you. The board is not blurred and visible to you properly, children. The board is not blurred. I think it is visible to you, to all of you. I want your response. Okay, fine, it's clear. Now, chloroplast, as you know, it contains a pigment, chlorophyll. Then and various types of chlorophylls. Okay, A, B, C, D, various types of chlorophyll are present. This was discovered by Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Anton von Leeuwenhoek. This was discovered by this gentleman, by this researcher. Now let's come to the number. How many are present in, how many chloroplasts are present in different organisms? Sometimes the chloroplasts are one chloroplast. When we talk of number, some cells like Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas is the algae monas. It has one chloroplast. I'll just write CHLPL, chloroplast per cell. That means it is a unicellular organism. So one chloroplast per cell is Chlamydomonas. Then there is another organism, and the name of that organism is Spirogyra. If you remember, Spirogyra appears somewhat like this. It is filamentous. Okay, and we have various filaments here, and then the chloroplast is ribbon-like in this. It is like this, ribbon-like, like this, ribbon-like. Okay, so chloroplast is arranged like this in Spirogyra, and this Spirogyra, it can have five. The third one is higher plants. I'll write here the higher plants. The third one is higher plants. They can have about 40, say 40 to 50 chloroplast per cell. They can have this much. Then there is one organism which is Chara. This has about 500 chloroplast per cell. About 500 chloroplast per cell. So this is about the number of chloroplasts. We come to the shape of chloroplast. Various shapes. In the shapes, if we see the chloroplast can be cup-shaped. The cup-shaped chloroplast is present again in Chlamydomonas. And how it appears? Chlamydomonas is like this, biflagellated, and here it has its chloroplast, which is like a cup. Which is like a cup. So this is the chloroplast cup shape, which is present in Chlamydomonas. Then we have ribbon-shaped chloroplast. And this chloroplast, I just show you when I drew that diagram of Spirogara, in which I'm just drawing a small one now to show you. This, we had this ribbon shaped of chloroplast. Besides this, we have girdle shaped of Spirogara, which is present in Ulothrix. Girdle shaped. It is present in Ulothrix. It appears to be like this. This is one segment of Ulothrix, and it has girdle shaped chloroplast, which is like this. This is girdle shaped, which is present in Ulothrix. So these are various types of chloroplast which are present in different organisms. We have, their numbers are different. Yes, I was getting some message. I missed it. Can you show me again? Yes, beta. Any problem to anybody? Is it not visible properly or any other problem? Yes. Board is blurred. Tadarani. To everybody the board is blurred? Or only to Tadar? Yes, beta. Is the board blurred for everybody? Yes, bache? Okay, Ananya Thakur is also saying, Sanvi is also saying, I'll just check it. Wait a minute. This is due to poor connectivity, basically. So I'll just check it. Is it visible now? Is it clear now, children? Better now? Okay, fine. If it is clear, fine. So children, this was about the shape and about the number of chloroplasts. The number can be 1, it can be 5, more than 1. In hard plants, it's 40 to 50. In Chara, it's 500 about. And the shapes, I have written the 3 shapes of chloroplast, which is cup shape, which is ribbon shaped, and the girdle shape. Now, after this, I'll tell you the ultrastructure of chloroplast, which I have already told you, but just it will be a review of the structure of chloroplast, which I'll draw for you now. As you know, the chloroplast is a double membrane structure and it is a semi-autonomous organelle. I have told you 2 things, that it is a semi-autonomous organelle. Mitochondria is also a semi-autonomous organelle, and this one is also a semi-autonomous organelle. Semi-autonomous organelle. What do we mean by semi-autonomous organelle, and what makes it semi-autonomous? 2 things. One thing which makes it semi-autonomous is the circular DNA, which is present in it. And the second thing which makes it a semi-autonomous organelle are the ribosomes. It is able to synthesize its own proteins, and it is able to store its own genetic information, and whatever the function of DNA does, that is done by it. Independently. That is why we say that it is semi-autonomous organelle. Of course, it is a double membrane structure. Double membrane structure. Okay, so how does it look like? The most common shape of this is the oval shape. So it is a double membrane structure. So we are going to make it double membrane. This is a double membrane structure like this. And the inner membrane, it is, it goes into form some tubular structures which are stroma lamellae. So this forms stroma lamellae, and on these stroma lamellae, the granas are present. These are thylakoids, and together all the thylakoids, they form grana. We can make one structure from here also. This is a little broader, it has to be a little narrow. So we have the structure like this, which comes out of this. And also we can make some granas here also. Okay, and as you know that these granas, they are interconnected also, so we can connect it like this. Okay, we can connect this also to the upper one like this. Now these are connected. Then we have here the ground substance, which is matrix, and this matrix is stroma. Then we have the circular DNA, and we have some more structures which are ribosomes. Okay, so how we are going to label it? This is the outer membrane. This is the inner membrane. Outer membrane, inner membrane. Then we have these ribosomes. We have this, the ground substance. This ground substance is known as stroma. This is circular DNA. This is stroma lamella. After this, this one, each, only one of this. I'm talking about only this one single of this. This single is a thylakoid. This is thylakoid, and together this complete from here to here. It's a, and many granums together makes grana. Okay. Now stroma, stroma lamella, inner membrane, outer membrane, ribosome, circular DNA, and one more thing which is left here is the space which is there in between the two membranes. This is intermembrane space, or yes, it is better to call it intermembrane space. Intermembrane space. The ribosomes which are present in the chloroplast is 70S ribosomes, 70S. 70s ribosomes, and you know these 70s ribosomes are also present in prokaryotes. That means in bacteria also we have this 70s ribosome. Now this diagram is incomplete unless we write here chloroplast, ultrastructure of chloroplast. So ultrastructure of chloroplast. So is this diagram clear to you all? Anything you want to ask me in this diagram? We have already done it once. I have done it again for you. Now, one thing more which I want to tell you, in the outer membrane, the proteins are less and this is permeable. The inner membrane, the proteins are more and this is selectively permeable. Already been told to you, the outer membrane has less proteins and this is permeable. The inner membrane more proteins, and because of this more proteins, it is selectively permeable. So anything you want to ask me in this, or shall I continue with the next? Shall I move further? Yes. Anything? Anything better in this diagram? Clear? Clear to all of you? Okay, clear. Fine. I'm getting the messages that it is clear. Now, one thing which I would like to tell you is what is grana, what is stroma. This I'll be telling you now. One more very important feature of chloroplast. One more very important feature of chloroplast. The first feature which I told you, it was that the chloroplast first feature I told you that. What was the first feature? Semi-autonomous. This I told you, semi-autonomous organelle. And then I told you that it is second feature I told you double membrane. The third feature that is also very important, it is dimorphic organelle. Dimorphic organelle means it is present in two forms. Now those two forms are agranule and granule. The two forms in which it is present, the chloroplast is present in two forms, and those two forms are agranule and granule. First, I'll write here granule, and I'll write here agranule. As the name indicates here, A means without grana. So this is without grana, whereas this is with grana. So this is the chloroplast in which both grana and stroma are present. And these are present. And where are these grana? That means this is the chloroplast which has these granas also and stroma also. Stroma and stroma lamellae. These stroma lamellae are also present. So this is granule type. Okay, granule. It has grana, thylakoid together. Thylakoid makes grana, stroma lamellae, stroma, everything is present. So we call it granule chloroplast, and this is present in where it is present. It is the second point is present in mesophyll cells of C3 and C4 plants. It is present in mesophyll cells of C3 and C4 plants. Now, agranule, as the name indicates, it is without grana. So it has only stroma. So what is present here? Only stroma and stroma lamellae are present. Stroma lamellae are present. This is agranule. A granule. Now, where it is present? Where is this chloroplast present? This is present in bundle sheath cells of C4 plants. So present in bundle sheath cells of C4 plants. So this is about the chloroplast, that it is present here and in the bundle sheath cells. This A granule one, that means it will have, it will appear like this, double membrane, and from the double membrane, of course, the lamellas will come out, but they do not have these granas, only the lamella and the stroma. Only the lamella and the stroma. These are lamellas which are present. Only the lamellas will be present. Only the stroma, this stroma and the stroma lamella is present. No granas. These granas, which are many thylakoids, one thylakoid, second thylakoid, third thylakoid, fourth thylakoid, fifth thylakoid, and together it makes a grana. This is one thylakoid, thylakoid. Each disc-like structure is known as thylakoid. Many thylakoids put over each other, it makes one grana. It makes one granum. Many granums together. This is one grana, one grana. This is second grana. Sorry, granum. This is third granum. And many more. There can be 4, 5, 6, and together these all, they are known as grana. The ground substance is known as stroma, and from the stroma the lamellae come out. And this one, A granule, does not have these granas. It has only stroma and stroma lamellae, whereas granule has grana, stroma lamellae, stroma, everything it has. Is it clear, beta? Is it clear difference between the two? Granule, A granule, dimorphic organelle. Why this is known as dimorphic organelle? Okay. Now, there are two types of reactions which take place during photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, the two reactions which take place are the light reaction and the dark reaction. So two reactions together make the process of photosynthesis. This light reaction takes place in grana of chloroplast, grana of chloroplast, because the thylakoid which make grana, I told you that this thylakoid membrane, this is one thylakoid and this is thylakoid membrane. This membrane has chlorophyll in it. This carries chlorophyll pigment. Chlorophyll pigment is present in the thylakoid membrane. So where it is present? Thylakoid membrane. So for light reaction, the chlorophyll pigment is required, which is present in the thylakoid membrane. So the light reaction takes place in the grana of chloroplast, whereas dark reaction takes place in the stroma of chloroplast. So to accomplish this dark reaction, all the enzymes for dark reaction are required. So this stroma, this stroma, because which reaction takes place in stroma? In stroma, the light reaction takes place, and in stroma, the dark reaction takes place, and for the dark reaction, what is required? The enzymes are required. So stroma is rich in enzymes. This is rich in enzymes of dark reaction. Whatever enzymes are required for dark reaction, that is stroma is rich in that. That means if this is chloroplast which has these granas, with stroma lamellae, this is stroma. This will be rich in, the dark reaction will take place in this stroma, and this stroma of the chloroplast, the dark reaction takes place, and this stroma is rich in enzymes because the dark reaction takes place here. So the stroma region should have all the enzymes which are required for dark reaction. One enzyme which is very important, and the name of the enzyme is Rubisco. What is the full form of this enzyme? Yes, yes, yes. What is the full form? Anybody who remembers? We have done this chapter. Rubisco. Yes, beta. Anybody who remembers this Rubisco? Full form. Yes, yes, bache. Anybody who remembers this? No? Children, whatever I teach, you have to go through it every day. Then only you will be able to memorize everything. Otherwise, you study. Today, if you study, if you don't go through it, Yashika is saying ricarboxylase. No, 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 Yashika. If you don't study the same day, you will never remember, and it will be very difficult for you to then study during the exams. That is why I say what I ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase. Yes, Amrita, this is right, oxygenase. This is, you know, all the enzymes are proteinaceous in nature, so we can say that this is a protein. Okay, so this stroma where the dark reaction takes place, it is rich in all the enzymes, of course, but it is very rich in Rubisco, and because it is rich, very rich in Rubisco, which is the CO2 acceptor, what happens? This Rubisco is the most abundant protein. This makes Rubisco the most abundant protein in the world. This makes it the most abundant protein in the world. So this is what, and I told you that the light reaction takes place in the grana of the chloroplast. And why does it take place in the grana? Because grana is made up of thylakoid, and the chlorophyll is present on the thylakoid membrane. That is why the light reaction takes place in the grana, whereas dark reaction takes place in the stroma region. And this stroma, why? Because the enzymes which are required for dark reaction, including Rubisco, are present in stroma region. So this is about the dark reaction and the light reaction. One thing more which I would like to tell you is how are these? I'll make it here for you. How are these thylakoids arranged? I'll make this here for you. This is the last topic of chloroplast. See, the thylakoids are structures like this, as you know. I'm making one thylakoid. This is double membrane. I mean, this is the membrane, not double membrane. This is the membrane of thylakoid. And in the membrane of thylakoid, we have the chlorophyll pigment. Here. Now, outside, what do we have? I'm making just two so that you, or I'll make one more for you. Thylakoids, thylakoids are arranged one above another to make granum. So this is one granum which I have made with 3 thylakoids. So this is one granum with 3 thylakoids. Now outside, what do we have? What do we have here? These outside the granum, what is present? Yes, beta. What is present outside the thylakoid? What is present outside the grana, which I have made in dotted structure? What is present outside this grana? Yes, anybody? What is present outside the grana? Yes, beta. Yes, stroma. Kadar, right. This is stroma which is present. So this is a grana, and here we have, this is stroma, outside stroma. Now, if you see some membranes are thylakoid are touching the stroma, but these membranes are not touching the stroma. These membranes, they are not towards the stroma. The membranes which are not towards the stroma, which are towards each other. See, these membranes are not touching the stroma. These membranes, this membrane is touching the stroma, this membrane is touching the stroma. The ones which are not touching are known as The ones which are not touching are known as appressed membrane. Appressed membranes which are not touching the stroma, and the ones which are touching the stroma are known as non-appressed membrane. And these membranes, the membrane of thylakoid, what do they have in them? They have chlorophyll pigment. Chlorophyll. And the light reaction takes place here. Light reaction takes place here. And the dark reaction takes place here. And what have I made this? This is granum. And each single of this is thylakoid. Is it clear, beta? Here I finish with the topic chlorophyll, chloroplast. Is it clear to all of you? Anything, any query in this? Tomorrow I'll be starting with nucleus. So is it clear? Anything which you could not understand? Any query? Any thing which you want me to discuss again? Yes, clear. Tadar is saying Amrita, okay. Okay. 2 responses I've got. Yashika, is it clear? Sanvi, Manat, no query. Sanvi, Manat.